Level 1. Nancy Downs. Starting us off at number 7 is Nancy Downs from The Craft. Nancy is incredibly powerful for a teenage witch who just discovered her abilities. After invoking Manon, she gains serious magical muscle. She can control the elements, manipulate reality, levitate, walk on water, and cause fatal heart attacks with just her mind. She can project incredibly convincing illusions and has telekinetic abilities that let her throw people around like ragdolls. But here's why she's at number 7. Nancy's power is raw and uncontrolled. She's like a loaded gun in the hands of someone who's never fired one before. Sure, she can do some impressive things, but she lacks the training, discipline, and knowledge that would make her truly formidable. Her power also seems to drive her insane, which is a significant weakness. She's got the potential to be much higher on this list, but potential isn't the same as actualized power. Plus, she's ultimately defeated and bound by the other members of her coven, which shows her limitations. She's dangerous, absolutely, but she's at the bottom of our ranking because everyone else on this list would overpower her pretty quickly. Level 2. Sabrina Spellman. At number 6, we have Sabrina Spellman from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Sabrina is the daughter of Lucifer himself, which gives her some serious magical credentials. She becomes the Queen of Hell, can time travel, command demons, perform necromancy, and wield significant reality warping abilities. She can create pocket dimensions, manipulate souls, and her power grows exponentially throughout the series. What puts Sabrina at number 6 is that her power is impressive but inconsistent. Sometimes she's reshaping reality and commanding legions of hell. Other times she struggles with relatively simple magical tasks. Her power also often requires external sources. She needs the support of hell, ancient artifacts, or other supernatural entities to reach her full potential. She's not as self-sufficient as the witches higher on this list. Additionally, while she's the daughter of the devil, she doesn't seem to have full control over her inherited abilities. She's powerful, definitely in the upper tier, but she's held back by her inexperience and the fact that much of her power comes from borrowed sources rather than her own innate abilities. Level 3. Agatha Harkness. Coming in at number 5 is Agatha Harkness from Agatha All Along and WandaVision. Agatha has been practicing magic for centuries. Over 300 years of accumulated knowledge, spells, and experience. She can drain other witches' powers and absorb them permanently, which is an incredibly rare and dangerous ability. She's a master of illusion magic, can manipulate memories on a massive scale, break through reality warping hexes, and has demonstrated expertise in everything from telekinesis to transmutation. What makes Agatha formidable is her versatility and knowledge. She knows countless spells, understands the deep theory of magic, and can adapt to almost any situation. She's survived for centuries by being clever and powerful in equal measure. However, she's at number 5 because while she's incredibly skilled, she's ultimately limited by the need to steal power from others to reach her peak. When she faces off against someone with raw, innate power like Wanda, she loses. She's a master tactician and an ancient witch with vast knowledge. But she's not a reality warper in her own right. She's more of a magical scholar and power thief than a cosmic-level threat. Level 4. Samantha Stevens from Bewitched. Just kidding. Level 4. Fiona Goode. At 4, we have Fiona Goode from American Horror Story, Coven. Fiona is the supreme, the most powerful witch of her generation, which means she's mastered all 7 wonders. She can perform telekinesis, control minds, teleport anywhere instantly, divine the future and past, manipulate life force to kill or resurrect, travel to the afterlife and return, and create and control fire. She can drain youth and vitality from others to extend her own life indefinitely. What makes Fiona so powerful is the completeness of her abilities. She's not just strong in one area. She's mastered every fundamental aspect of witchcraft in her world. She can read your mind, kill you with a thought, teleport behind you, set you on fire, and bring you back to life just to kill you again. She's lived for decades beyond her natural lifespan by stealing life force from others. But here's why she's at number 4. Her power is bound by the rules of the Supreme. As she ages and a new Supreme rises, her abilities fade. She's incredibly powerful, but her power is temporary and cyclical. She also can't reshape reality on a fundamental level. She works within the established magical system rather than transcending it. Before we reveal our top 3 most powerful witches, make sure you're subscribed to Legendate. Smash that like button if you're enjoying this magical ranking, and drop a comment telling me which witch you think deserves the top spot. We've got so much more content coming your way. Now let's get into the real heavy hitters. Level 5, Willow Rosenberg. Our bronze medal goes to Willow Rosenberg from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. When Willow goes dark and fully embraces her magical potential, she becomes terrifyingly powerful. She can absorb entire magical libraries instantly, drain the power from covens across the planet, manipulate time itself, raise the dead, flay people alive with a gesture, and nearly destroys the entire world. She goes toe-to-toe with gods and holds her own. What puts Willow at number 3 is the sheer scope of what she's capable of when unleashed. She's not just powerful, she's apocalyptically powerful. She can end the world, which is a level of destructive capability that very few on this list can match. Even when she's not dark, experienced Willow is one of the most skilled witches alive, capable of incredible feats like resurrecting Buffy and empowering every potential slayer on Earth simultaneously. That last feat alone, sharing power across the entire planet, demonstrates a level of magical reach that's almost unparalleled. However, she's at number 3 because her peak power comes at the cost of her sanity and control. Dark Willow is unstoppable, but regular Willow has to constantly hold back to avoid losing herself again. She's powerful but conflicted, which limits her effectiveness. The witches above her on this list don't have to fight their own abilities to use them. Level 6, Jadis, the White Witch. Coming in at number 2 is Jadis, the White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia. Jadis is operating on a completely different scale than most witches. She held an entire world in eternal winter for 100 years. That's weather manipulation on a planetary scale, sustained for a century. She can turn any living being to stone instantly with her wand, and she's essentially immortal. She conquered and ruled an entire kingdom through magical might alone. But here's what really sets Jadis apart. Before she even came to Narnia, she destroyed her entire original world. She spoke the deplorable word, which killed every living thing in her universe except herself. That's extinction-level power. She literally ended a world. When she comes to Narnia, she brings that same cosmic-level capability with her. She's strong enough to snap iron bars. She can't be killed by conventional means, and her magic is so powerful that it takes a divine being, Aslan himself, to defeat her. Jadis is at number 2 because her power is both immense and proven over a long time period. She's not a flash-in-the-pan powerful witch. She maintained absolute magical dominance over an entire world for a century. She combines raw power, immortality, and the tactical skill to rule through fear. The only reason she's not number 1 is that her power, while vast, still operates within certain rules and limitations. She can be killed, she can be opposed, and there's one witch on this list whose power transcends even Jadis's world-ending capabilities. Before we wrap up, let's give some love to witches who didn't make our main 7, but deserve recognition. The Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus are surprisingly powerful as a trio. They can drain life force, brew potent potions, and have survived for centuries. But individually, they're not as formidable as our main seven. The Wicked Witch of the West from Oz commands armies, controls an entire country, and has that all-seeing eye. She's powerful and nearly immortal, but her vulnerability to water is such a significant weakness that it keeps her off the main list. Marie Laveau from American Horror Story. Coven is incredibly powerful in her own right. She's the voodoo queen who has lived for nearly 200 years through a pact with Papa Legba. She can perform powerful voodoo rituals, raise zombies, inflict pain and death from a distance, and has accumulated centuries of magical knowledge. She goes toe-to-toe with the Salem witches and holds her own, demonstrating abilities that rival even the Supreme. Her power is formidable, but she operates within the same magical system as Fiona. And while she's certainly Supreme-level powerful, she doesn't quite reach the reality-warping capabilities of our top three. We're about to reveal the most powerful witch in all of fiction. But first, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a Legendate video. Share this with your friends who love fantasy and horror, and let's keep this conversation going in the comments. Now let's crown our champion. Level 7, the Blair Witch, Ellie Kedwood. Taking the crown at number 1 is the Blair Witch, Ellie Kedwood. This might surprise some of you, but hear me out. The Blair Witch has transcended normal magical power and become something far more terrifying. She's fused with reality itself within her domain. She doesn't just cast spells, she is the spell. She's become a localized reality-warping entity, a cosmic horror that has complete control over space, time, and perception within the Black Hills forest. Let's talk about what she can actually do. The Blair Witch can manipulate time. People experience days while hours pass in the real world, or they're lost for weeks while thinking only a night has gone by. She can alter physical space, making the forest impossible to navigate, creating impossible geometries where you can walk south all day and end up back where you started. She can manifest structures that appear and disappear, manipulate weather, control animals, and project herself or her influence anywhere within her domain. But here's what really sets her apart. She operates outside normal magical rules. You can't fight her because she's not really physical anymore. You can't escape her because she controls the very space you're trying to leave. She can affect technology, causing cameras to malfunction, compasses to spin uselessly, and modern equipment to fail. She can invade minds, drive people insane, and force them to do horrific things against their will. She's patient. She'll toy with victims for days or weeks, breaking them down psychologically before finally claiming them. The Blair Witch has maintained this level of power for over 200 years without any apparent weakening. She doesn't need to rest, doesn't need to recharge, doesn't seem to have any limitations within her territory. She's essentially unkillable because she's not really alive in any conventional sense. She's become a malevolent supernatural force woven into the fabric of the forest itself. Every attempt to stop her, destroy her, or even understand her has failed. She's not just powerful, she's become power itself, an eternal, unchanging force of supernatural horror. That's why the Blair Witch is number 1. While other witches on this list are incredibly powerful, they're still witches, beings who cast spells, use magic, and operate within some kind of system. The Blair Witch has transcended that. She's remade herself into something that exists beyond normal magical rules, a localized god with absolute power in her domain. Within her forest, she's unbeatable, unstoppable, and eternal. And there you have it, the 7 most powerful witches in fiction, ranked by sheer magical might. From Nancy Downs' raw, untamed power to the Blair Witch's reality-warping cosmic horror, we've seen some seriously impressive magical abilities. Remember, This ranking is based on demonstrated power, versatility, and the scope of what these witches can actually do. What do you think, Legendate community? Do you agree with this ranking? Would you put someone else at number 1? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your perspectives and debating these rankings with you. And if you enjoyed this video, check out our Evil Witches ranking to see how power and morality don't always align. Link in the description. Thanks for watching Legendate. And remember, with great power comes great, well, in these cases, usually great terror. I'll see you in the next one. Stay legendary.